Okay, so this is how your directory will look after you've pulled the base factory onto your computer. I've already put the correct Erlang shortcut in here. Also deleted the storage folder, but you'll probably not have a storage folder that you need to delete. And yeah, now you have a clean base factory to work from. So let us just start this up just to see if everything is working. Great. And now if we go to the base factories user interface, this is what you'll see. And as shown in the README file, if you want to add users, you do this here. We're not going to do that now. We're going to focus in this video on how to add new custom Holons to your custom non-interface Holons to your base factory. So as you can see here, for the application, I initially the first case study I used for the base factory, it was a sheep farm, and that's why I have sheep and groups and houses and feeders for my base factory. But in your case, this might differ, and I did show this in the README file, but where you need to go to change that is in the MUI front end. MUI stands for Management User Interface. You go to index. I'm going to open this in Visual Studio Code. There we go. So these are the custom scripts as mentioned. And where you would need to then, if you've got different Holons, so for example, I'm rather going to expand on what I've already got instead of going from scratch. Then it gives you a little bit more context about where everything is. And since I've already got a lot of developed code for these Holons, I'm going to keep them in my following explanation. So, for example, let's say you had a new Holon and it was, let's say you've got a new a robot, and this robot, let's say it can inject sheep, okay? Or you've got a few robots that can inject sheep, so you need a new Holon type, okay? So and this Holon, I don't know why I'm typing this out actually. Probably when I'm thinking about what Holon to use, but anyway, so let's say let's rather add that maybe here towards the bottom, maybe after the human workers. Let's say you've got a new robot, and these are going to be injection robots. They're Holon type robots. Need to change that in here as well. Robots. Great. And this will already be enough for you to now add a new injection robot, but the problem is that injection robot will have no attributes, no plugins, but let's anyways do that. I need to save this, and I just need to clear my browsing data, actually just the cached images. I think that should be enough. I'm going to close that and that and that. Now we can log in, still using my old login details. So now you should have, there we go, injection robot. So we can add a new injection robot. Let's call it IR1. Okay. And as you can see, it added the robot, but the only attribute is its business card, and there's no other functionalities. Whoops, what happened here? Oh, it's actually showing us could not add any attributes because there's no injection robots attributes module in Erlang. And there's going to be a few other errors with regard to the other modules that are not developed yet for this robot. But these are just error notifications. Everything is still working as it should. If you go to observer, observer, you'll be able to see your new injection robot in the system. There we go, with all of its different components. Okay, let us now go. I use Eclipse for my Erlang development. I'm gonna pause the video while this starts. Okay, so Here in Eclipse, this is in the directory that the base factory, the project files are. And yeah, in the source folder, under the source folder, you've got generic and custom. Generic, you don't need to worry about. Custom is where you develop your case-specific Holons. So for my case study, I had sheep and feeders, etc. But now, just to show you, if you now want to add a new, why is this taking so long? Add a new injection robot Holon type. So with the folder needs to be, or we can call the folder actually anything, but injection robot. There we go. And then very important, you need to go to the project's properties, go to Erlang, and then add that new folder so that it's automatically compiled. So source, custom, injection robots. Is that enough? I think so. Yes, injection robots. Okay. Cool. So now anything we develop under this folder will automatically be compiled. So if you look under the sheep, this is probably the most, this is the most complete Holon to use as a reference how you, and basically use this as a template for your new Holon. So let's start with the attributes. I'm going to copy the sheep attributes and create attributes for our new injection robot. Module. And this name is quite important. It needs to be the Holon type, so injection robots, and then attributes. Now we can paste that in here. Just need to change this. Injection robots. And as you can see here, this is now all the sheep attributes, but we probably don't need all of this. Let's just add a few attributes. We're not going to delete all of the sheep stuff, so we have something as a reference. Let's say the injection robot maybe has a property. I don't know what will be a good property. Number of, no, that's not an attribute. What will be an attribute of an injection robot? Needle thickness. Okay, let's say needle thickness. So that's a personal attribute. Actually, let's just change this first one. Let's edit in here. That's perfect. So needle thickness, personal attribute. This third one is the context. Context. Of needle. And then default value. Let's say. Oh, let's maybe for the context, it's a good practice to use units if it's some numeric value. So thickness, let's say the thickness of the needle in millimeters is probably fine. And let's say the needle thickness of 2 millimeters or 2.5. I'm not sure how appropriate that is. Anyway, so we've got one attribute there. Let's maybe just another attribute. Let's make a relational attribute. This B1 and R1 is just naming convention. It's not important. Delete all of this. R1. These are going to be the two attributes we add for now. So in Eclipse, you've got the nice functionality that it suggests functions for you. So yeah, I can just click on this and it'll tell me what I need to populate. So in here I want to this relational attribute is going to be let's make it maybe the house in which each robot, let's say each house has an injection robot, and let's make the house the relational property of this new injection robot. So type, attribute type, this is relational, context, house in which robot installed, and value, a default value, this will be pin, let's make it pending, string, oops, actually this at the top attributes don't need to be string values always, so this can be a numeric value. Pending, that's it. Now I've got new injection. Sorry, just need to restart a new video. Okay, we've got new injection robot attributes. Cool. So now these should be auto-compiled, and we should, if we maybe restart the entire base factory. So I'm going to go to I'm going to again delete this entire storage folder, start up the factory, go to my user interface. Oops, why isn't Google updating this? Injection robot, add a new one, IR1, and this time we should see, yes, there we go, the attributes we just added. Okay, so for the sake of saving time, I'm going to try and just fast forward explain through the other developments you would need to do for your specific robot. Just by the way, if you click here, then you go into the robots, more of its details, you can see its resource data, etc., and more of that is explained in the README file. So if we go back to Eclipse, I'm just going to focus here on the sheep Holon, since it is quite fully developed. And these modules, all of these modules represent all of the modules that you can possibly develop for a Holon. So each Holon has attributes, and then this sheep attributes is used to set up the startup attributes of each Holon. And then the other, let's then focus on the 4 plugin modules. So that will be the SP, EP, RP, and AP. This make it easy for you to, very easily develop a SP, a scheduling plugin, or an execution plugin in this case. And you can just follow the convention shown in these the modules developed for the sheep and maybe for some of the other Holons. To give you some context, in future work I'll try to develop more templates that maybe explain it a bit better, but for now this should be enough to get you going. And for the MAD members, you can obviously ask me for any if you stuck or you don't understand how to develop one of these modules. The request and inform modules, a case-specific module not included in the base architecture, or not case-specific but implementation-specific. It just allows you to have very basic non-service oriented communications between Holons. And then finally, the service provision module is obviously very important. The sheep doesn't have actually a very developed service oriented module, so you can rather use maybe the houses, I think. Yes, there we go. There's a more complete service oriented service provision module. So yeah, I hope this gets you going to add a non-interface custom Holon.